movement is fairly restricted here. Do me a favor, before you even speak, do the exercise that I just asked John to do and Jai to do. Back up in your head several lines of text before you begin speaking, and be saying them to yourself, and choose to open your mouth and become audible at that moment.
So I looked up at him. For the first time in my life, I saw how much he loved me. He was frozen. It hurt him to see me in that much pain. So he leans down and slapped me across the face. I don't know why. Maybe he was mad at me for making him feel that helpless. Maybe it was the only thing he could think of. I don't really care anymore. What I remember now is the look on his face when he first saw me. That's all I remember. That's what I miss.
We're going to change the shape of it on you to see that moment, that intimacy can be made. And when I say this to you, I don't want you to freak out. You were not too big, but there's a way to make it even more intimate.
I don't know why. Maybe he was mad at me for making him that helpless. Maybe it was the only thing he could think of. I don't really care anymore.
What happened this time, and this is not your doing, this is my doing, it's the setup. You got to stay there. Put this leg down so he's more comfortable. Relate to her. This time you did the whole thing.
I know.
All of a sudden, everything that's animated and wonderful about you, your eyes got locked like I'm giving a speech to the mountain in Greece or something.
I did it on purpose.
Yeah,
okay.
I know you did, and that's why I let it happen, but you got to realize it's nowhere near as alive.
Yeah.
And don't worry about being seen. We'll photograph you. I want to see you tell the truth to her.
Okay. For the first time in my life, I saw how much he loved me. He was frozen. It hurt him to see me in that much pain. So he leans down.
Titov, stop. Now I want you to split the difference. Talk to her, feel what you're feeling, take your time. It's only 3 sentences.
I looked up at him. For the first time in my life, I saw how much he loved me. He was frozen. It hurt him to see me in that much pain. So he leans down and slapped me across the face.
Don't look back at her anymore.
I don't know why. Maybe he was mad at me for making him that helpless. Maybe it was the only thing he could think of. I don't really care anymore. What I remember now is the look on his face when he first saw me. That's all I remember. That's what I miss.
Okay. The body position helped you. The unnatural body position, the one that did not support the words, the one that just put you across the table in a vacuum, made it harder to what? Make sense?
Yeah, we can say to make sense, but also to relate to her somehow.
Yeah.
In this context.
Yeah. So, what helps it besides the proximity? Is it the physical contact at all? Also, that your head is in her lap?
First, physical contact, so my head on her lap, and also the tone of my voice. It went a little lower, and it creates some kind, for me, creates some kind of connection. I didn't have to project that much, and suddenly I just felt like we had something going on. We had that she was closer to me, she was hearing me, she was with me, she was compassionate with me. I just felt something more intimate.
Right, and now you got to realize too, that whole shot we did not see her at all. So the only way we know what you just said is true about the way you felt about it is by what we see.
Wow. Okay.
Point made?
Yeah.
You know, everything
Very
you just
clear.
said about her is great.
Yeah,
but we don't see
her.
that, nope. We only see it through you.
So this is a matter of choice.
Yes.
So as an actor,
You know how we play that other game where we say you define the other person on stage by the way you treat them? Well, in a different sense, you're defining that off-camera person for us who can't see them by how you relate to them when we're in that close on you, by the truth in your eyes. When the camera's on you, and this is, I want to get back to that point about all the experts on a set, is that there's a hair expert, there's a makeup expert, there's a sound expert, there's a lens carrying expert, there's a cable guy, there's a cappuccino guy that makes the cappuccinos for the crew, he's an expert. But when that thing is pointed at you and it's that close on you, you're the expert.
What are the different options that I have when I'm here, stuck, kind of, on the lab, and you said to me, find some difference, find something. What are the options that I have right there? Eyes, intentions, head movement, what are the options?
My approach to it is always go to your senses. You could take a moment and look at her, breathe her in. You can smell her. You can look at something specific on her, locate an earring that catches your attention. You can always go to your senses for intimacy. I mean, listen, I always say go to your body, bottom line. But if it's something big to be played, then look for something to do. If the restrictions of the shot are such that you feel you have nothing to do, remember there's always something to do. Even if it's to search for something on somebody's forehead. It's active. It's not just dead eyes locked in, because you see a lot of that too. Yeah. And I think we're trained to think that's what it is because we see a lot of TV. And you got to remember, TV is shot very quickly, folks. I mean, it's kind of like, you know your lines, great, we love you. We'll hire her again because she knows her lines. And then if she can stand still and not blink while we're shooting her, she's going to be recurring. I mean, it's all done pretty quickly. There's not a whole lot of time of rehearsal. For those of you who were here the night of the Joe Mantegna event when he talked about it, one of the first questions I asked him was, I said, Joe, you're the star of a show. You get guest stars every week, which, you know, trust me on this, folks, I've made my living at it. The guest spots are the best roles on television. They call them the unsubs. You know, the guys on these crime shows that are the killers, are the skells, are the rapists, are the guy on the run, or are the red herring in the actual main plot. These are the best roles. And I said to Joe, how much time do you get to rehearse with them? He said, no, you don't. You got to find it. You go to the trailer if you're friendly with them and find time. Otherwise, it's the camera's rolling, let's meet, you kill him, you kill her, you're intimate with her, you love him, and thank you. And we got that all in a day, and we're very happy. It really does come down to your preparedness. That's what this whole philosophy is, you know, be over-prepared. You know, don't they say a boxer has to train 45 rounds for for every, something like he has to, I don't know, I'm talking about, I don't know. But there's some weird formula, like a boxer has to fight 50 minutes for every 3 minutes he's going to spend in the ring. I don't think it's any different for actors. I think we really got to spend so much time immersed in our craft that when we're called upon to do it, it's somewhat at least available to us and we're facile. You know, who's next? Let's go, come on.